Friends, hello everyone. Today in 5 minutes, I will tell you how to build a cone. And like any figure of rotation, we begin to build a cone from the central axis, drawing a strictly vertical line. Following it, we build a horizontal line. This will be the center of our ellipse. We need to measure it so that the right part is equal to the left. That's how I did it, nay. It is very important that the central axis is exactly in the center. And then I look at how much width fits in the entire height. You are from the picture you are building. You can also take and measure how much your width fits in height. For example, it fit 1.5 times. How did I do it? And so I measured and put a serif on top of that, which is where I will end my cone. And then I need to build an ellipse. Let me remind you, an ellipse is a circle shortened in perspective, and it is very important that its edges are not sharp. On the right and on the left, we have rounded parts of the ellipse. The center of the ellipse has a left end and a right end. And now I need to connect this left point of the center of the ellipse with the serif that I put on the central axis from above. I also often use a thread in construction, like for example now. Also keep in mind, you can also do. If you doubt the evenness of your line, you can simply take a thread after you have built it and see if it coincides with the line. If there is no line visible behind the thread, then everything is fine. You have built a straight line. Well, the main structure is ready. Now I just need to circle the visible parts of our cone again with a pencil. The construction lines are the central axis, and the center of the ellipse can be erased, but however, you can also leave it as I left it. A little later, I'll clean it up a little bit. Now I've cleaned up a little bit, but it's not necessary. If you have a competent construction, you can also just take it and leave it. I started hatching, and I remind you that we should have at least two shading on one item. One shading is horizontal, as you can see now, with a slight indentation. That's how the ellipse goes. That is, my stroke repeats the shape of the ellipse. The second shading, the second main shading, is what you see now. This is a straight stroke down, vertical, but a little bit like a skirt in general. It opens, expands to the bottom. That is, I stroke according to the shape of the object, in other words. These are the two main hatches. And here's how you can see diagonally now. I'm applying hatching. This is already my third shading. The reference is in front of your eyes. It perfectly shows how the shadow on the right is quite so dense, and on the left, everything is in the light. And I started to stroke with a pencil as much as B and continue to stroke these dark places with a pencil 3B. I have a Kakener pencil. Repeating the same hatching directions. Here in the center, it is necessary to gently reduce. Here, I recommend taking a pencil ash or to ash, so that there is not a sharp drop from shadow to light, but it should be smooth. And look carefully. The hatching at the top becomes even darker. Yes, the right part towards the bottom. On the right, it becomes a little defocused, a little paler, and up to the top, it becomes even more saturated. I drew a shadow from the cone shaded. That's when you draw a shadow. The shadow itself is dark, and the edge that borders the shadow is also dark. Here the main thing is not to get confused. You must clearly define for yourself what is darker, what is lighter, a shadow or a face, so that they do not merge with each other. Well, this is the cone I got. Thank you very much for watching.